Hi friends, welcome to Adda 24/7. We are in the most important questions and case study series for CAIIB. I am covering ABM over here. ABM plus BFM. I cover BFM also. Kindly watch all the series. Okay. Share it with your friends. Share it on all your social media platforms. Like the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Let's move on. Okay. First one. XYZ wants to test the average weight of a product P, which whether the average weight of the product P is more than 450 grams. What type of hypothesis is used? So this person wants to test whether some product is there, its weight is more than 450 grams. So which hypothesis should it be used? Now look at this. This hypothesis means basically you are having only two hypotheses, null and alternative. Okay. Now the option will be between these two only. So simple, composite, null and alternative. The option will be between null and alternative. Now you answer this. I'll give you the explanation, not an issue. Yeah. Whether it's more than 450 grams. Whenever you have to check more or less like this, you have to use, say this. Firstly, let me explain you what is null and what is alternative. Null hypothesis often represented as H0 is a statement that there is no effect of relationship between the variables. No effect. We consider it as no effect. It is usually based on historical information and a conventional wisdom. Okay, so this is what we consider, that no effect. There is no effect on XYZ thing. There is no effect between the repo rate and the price of the bonds. There is no effect between the change in the repo rate and the loan rates. Null hypothesis. Alternative means what? Often represented as H1 or HA, is a hypothesis that is being tested to prove. Tested to prove. So what I have to check? So here, am I testing something? Yes. Tested to prove. So this definition immediately fits. So that's why the answer will be alternative hypothesis. Kindly note, tested to prove. This is very important. Okay. It is opposite of null hypothesis and states that there is an effect of relationship between the two variables. So it is exactly opposite of null. Okay. Next one. Blot test is an example of. Now this is related to HR. Okay. HR. Blot test is an example of which test? Aptitude, achievement, projective and intelligence. Now I'll just give you the answer because I don't cover HR, but then also I'll give you the answer. Firstly, let me check it from your side. Yeah. Blot test is an example of projective. What is projective test? Here. Projective means subconscious mind. Here, always it checks subconscious mind. What's there going on in the subconscious mind of any employee? That's given in the projective test. Means many times you might be seeing you yourself only. Whenever the boss comes, yes sir, you are right. In the mind you know he is wrong, he or she is wrong. You are cursing that person in the mind, subconscious mind. But do you show it somewhere? No. That is projective test. Projective test will check those thoughts in the subconscious mind. So blot test is an example of this projective test. Okay. Very important. You might have experienced this many times, right? Under which of the following analysis, ratios are used for ascertaining the relationship between different items of the balance sheet? Different items. What are the various items of the balance sheet? All the sources of funds, application of funds in vertical form. Generally nowadays we use vertical form only. So which of the following analysis ratios are used for ascertaining the relationship between different items? Is it external, internal, horizontal or vertical? What is the answer? Think over it. Yes, everyone think over it. Sure, firstly let me explain you something difficult over here. Internal, external, that's easy to understand. Vertical analysis means what? each item is listed as a percentage of the base figure. Each item is listed as a percentage of base figure. So relationship between different items. So how will you show the relationship then? It will be shown when you have something as a benchmark. This is my benchmark. Okay, so I can compare others, this, anything. So I can compare these two if I am having the benchmark. This is my standard, right? So this is the meaning. So that's why the answer is vertical analysis. In vertical analysis, each item is compared with some base figure, base. And then that's why the relationship between these two can be shown because I am having the base. Okay. And which of the following methods a period of for a number of years is selected to ascertain a percentage of relationship of various items in the financial items comparing with the items in the base year. So it's again comparing with the base year. Now see here, the same answer is there. Question is similar, vertical analysis. But here the answer is not vertical analysis. Is vertical analysis given over here? No, answer is not given. So the same question can be asked to you with various answers. Logic is same over here. Percentage of relationship of various items. Okay, so earlier also that was the same thing. But what is the answer over here then? Ratio, common size, trend and comparative. Trend, you have to check the trend, okay, with the base year. So base year means you'll always check the trend. Okay, always trend analysis is used over here. Got it? According to the lending norms, working capital requirement to be assessed at dash of the projected turnover to be shared between the borrower and the bank. So this working capital analysis, it is to be done. I mean, this is lending norms means here we are talking of NAYAC committee. NAYAC. Okay. This NAYAC committee gave some recommendations for the companies below 5 crore turnover. So according to that, what should be the is assessed at dash percent. What is the percentage assessed by NAYAC committee? Is it 10, 15, 20 or none of these? Mean this much percentage of working capital is required for with respect to the turnover. Here, what is the NAYAC committee recommendation? Firstly, there are two comparisons. One is turnover and second is working capital. Okay. It says that if the turnover of any company is less than 5 crores, 5 CR, then dash percentage of this working capital will be required by that company. What is that dash? So that is, kindly note, it is, this is a question mark. It is 25%. The answer is none of these. NAYAC committee says that 25% of the turnover will be required. Out of this, 20% will be shared by the bank and 5% with the customer. But the actual answer is 25. Combining it's 25. Okay. Got it? Now before going ahead, everyone subscribe to JIB CAIIB English channel. Click on the bell icon. Share it with your friends. Share it on all your social media platforms. Importantly, join the crash course. Okay. 11th October it's starting. Join immediately. Right spot, okay, right time. You are getting this course at the right time. So it's a sort of revision also, or those who have not started the studies for you fresh also. You can join the Mahapack also. In Mahapack you are getting right now double validity. I'll show you at the end how to join it. Okay. Let's move on with the questions. First one, we'll be covering the objective questions. If a standard asset will be shown as a loss if it had become irregular due to non-payment by the borrower since last 5 years. The loss of security in the account was more than 50%. The secured balance in the account is less than 10% after damage of the security. And all of the above are correct. So what is the correct answer in this? Think about it. Give me the correct answer in the comment section. Okay. Check in the comment section, everyone. Give me the answer in the comment section. The answer is C. The secured balance in the account is less than 10% after the damage of the security. Okay. So this is the main criteria. If the secured balance means basically the security against which the loan is given, if that remains less than 10% after the security has some damage due to anything, it might be due to rains, due to anything, fire, anything. If the security has remained less than 10%, then this is known as this asset will be shown as a loss asset. Okay. Next one. A housing loan is given, but the interest is payable along with the installment, which shall fall due after 2 years. The borrower has not been paying the interest debited for last 5 quarters. The account shall be treated as. So housing loan is given, but the interest is payable along with the installment, which shall fall due after 2 years. So it will fall due after 2 years means this is related to what? This is known as which period? Moratorium. Okay, so this is a moratorium period. So today I have given the loan today, but the EMI will start after 2 years. EMI, it will start after 2 years. Okay, so if EMI will start after 2 years, what will that customer pay within that part? Within that part, the customer will pay. Actually, he has to pay nothing, but as per the banking rules, we generally pay the interest part. That's called as pre-EMI interest. Okay. So now the question is, the borrower has not been paying the interest debited for last 5 quarters. So this interest was not paid by the borrower within this moratorium period. So what shall be the account treated as? Standard account, standard irregular account, substandard account, standard NPA account. Think over it, everyone. Everyone think over it. What shall be the answer over here? It will be treated as what? Standard, standard irregular, substandard, and standard NPA. What is this standard NPA? What is the standard NPA account? There is nothing called a standard NPA account. Okay. Substandard account. This is basically NPA. NPA starts with substandard, isn't it? Standard irregular account. This is also nothing like this. Standard irregular. So the answer is A. Standard account. Okay. So if a housing loan is given, but the interest is payable along with the installment. Okay. Next one. Which of the following statement is not correct in context of the crop loans? Means in the context of crop, basically we are talking of crop loans and we want not correct. Okay. For short duration crops, the irregularity period is 2 crop seasons. For long duration crops, the irregularity period is 1 crop season. Crop classification as short duration or long duration is determined by SLBC. The rule is applicable for all agricultural accounts. So we want not correct. Which one is not correct? Okay. So which of them won't be correct in this? Understand this. See this. Short duration crop and long duration crop. What is it? What is the short duration crop? Short duration crop means that crop which is completed within one season only. Long duration crop means that crop which requires 2 crop seasons. Okay. So that is, now which are those crops? We are not concerned with it actually. Banker gets the list of those crops. Okay. You get it from the head office and head office gets it from RBI. Okay. So 2 crop seasons, short duration and long duration. Generally this turmeric is considered as long duration crop. So now the question is, we don't want long duration and short duration crops. We want which one is not correct. So the short duration crop irregularity period is 2 crop season. Means what? If a customer has taken a crop loan and not repaid it, okay, not repaid it, Okay, in 2 crop seasons, then it is considered as irregular, means basically NPA. Similarly, the second one, the customer has taken the loan for long duration crops and not repaid for 1 crop season, then it will be called as this NPA. So these two are correct. This is correct. This is correct. Crop classification as short duration or long duration is determined by SLBC. So that is also correct. Okay. The rule is applicable to all agricultural account. That is wrong. Now what do you mean by this? The rule is applicable to all. It means suppose if I take a tractor loan, then also it is applicable. Suppose if I take a housing loan under agriculture as a farmer, then also it's applicable. So it's not. Okay. So that is the point. The important point over here is this is applicable only to those crops, means all the above three are correct, but it is not applicable to other agricultural accounts. Okay. So now the question in your mind might be, what is SLBC? SLBC, okay, State Level Bankers Committee. State Level Bankers Committee. So this Bankers Committee gives the list of this crop duration, short or long, okay, and then it forwards it through RBI to all of the banks. Okay. So State Level Bankers Committee, this is the meaning of SLBC. Okay. Next one, which of the following provision requirement is stated incorrectly in context of doubtful accounts? So incorrectly in doubtful means these are these NPAs? So NPA level number 2, right? Substandard, doubtful 1, doubtful 2, and then loss. So which of the following requirements are stated are incorrect? For unsecured portion of the balance, provision is 100%. For unsecured portion of the balance, provision is 100%. For secured portion of the balance in doubtful up to 1 year, provision is 25%. For secured portion of the balance in doubtful above 1 year up to 3 years, the provision is 40%. For secured portion of the balance in doubtful above 3 years, the provision is 50%. So which one is correct? Think over it. This was there, the question was there in your JIB also earlier. So now think over it. Which one is correct? This question was there in your JIB also. Think. I'll give you 1 minute to think. Let me see in the comment section what are the answers I am getting. I want the incorrect one. Incorrect. Okay. What are the provisions? Substandard. Okay. So it is 15-25, right? 15 for secured, 25 for unsecured. Doubtful D1. What is it? 2500, right? Doubtful 2, 4000. Oh, sorry, 4000, right? And last one, loss. So that is complete 100. Okay, both 100 means secured and unsecured both. So now which one is correct and which one is not correct? I have given you the hint also now. Now what is the answer in this, everyone? The answer is D, for secured portion of the balance in doubtful above 3 years. Okay, the account provision is 50%. This is wrong. See here, doubtful one above 3 years becomes loss asset. See, this is for 1 year. This is for 2 years. So total is 3 years. Doubtful 3 years. So above 3 years, the provision is 100. So this one is incorrect. Okay. Next one. For the purpose of valuation of securities for provisioning purposes, the collateral securities are to be got valued at least dash by the valuer appointed by the board approved guidelines. So for purpose of valuation of securities for provisioning purpose, provisioning, what do you mean by provisioning? Provisioning means whenever we do the secured or unsecured provisioning for this NPA loans. Okay. So securities for provisioning purposes, collateral securities are to be got valued at least dash by the value. Means how many times do we get it valued? Means suppose if I have taken a security today and the loan is for 10 years. So this valuation of that security should be done by me as a bank at least in how many years for that loan account or for that security? At least in how many years? What do you think? It should be done every. Okay, let me get the answer from you. Okay. So it should be done in, what is the answer? Done in at least once in 3 years. Okay, it should be at least done once in 3 years for the provisioning purpose of securities, for the purpose of valuation of securities, means valuation of those securities which I am using for the provisioning, either secured or unsecured. So these securities I must get it valued by the valuer appointed by the board at least once in a 3 years. Got it, everyone? Once in 3 years. In case of substandard assets, the provisioning requirement is stated correctly in which of the following? Now we are talking of substandard. Substandard, what was the rule? Now you write in the comment section. For secured substandard assets, it is 15%. For unsecured substandard asset, it is 20%. For infrastructure unsecured substandard asset, it is 25%. And all of the above. Now what do we want? Correctly stated. Which is correctly stated? Correctly. Now give me the answer. Which of them is correctly stated? So the answer is, just now I had given you the classification, right? Some time back only, in the same lecture. The answer is, it is for substandard assets, it is 15%. Okay. So what is the provisioning? Look at this, substandard. Again I'll write it, 15, 25, right? 15 for secured, 25 for unsecured. Okay. For doubtful one, doubtful one it is, see this, it's written over here unsecured substandard, which is this unsecured substandard. So it is 25. That is wrong. So this is wrong. Infrastructure unsecured substandard assets, it is 25%. Unsecured. Okay. Substandard. Infrastructure unsecured. So that is reduced now by RBI. Okay. So that is not 25%. Got it? So the only correct answer over here is A. Okay. Because for infrastructure related, okay, what is the provision for infrastructure related unsecured substandard assets? You type. If this is wrong, then what is the right answer? What is the right answer for infra related substandard? Give me the answer. It is 20%. Remember, it is 20%. Got it? It is 20%. So that is the right answer. Got it, everyone? Clear? Okay, one more and then we'll stop. XY wants to test whether the average weight of the product P is more than 450 grams. What type of hypothesis is required for this testing? Simple hypothesis, composite hypothesis, null hypothesis, and alternative hypothesis. Now this is a bit difficult, even I understand, because we are not that much used to statistics. Okay. So whether the weight of the product is more than 450 grams, more than. Okay. So in that case, what we'll use is, we'll use alternative. Why alternative? I'll give you the logic behind this. See this. What is the meaning of, only remember there are two hypotheses main. Among these four, there are only two hypotheses. One is null and second is alternative. There are others also, T square, chi square, all these. But in these four, there are only two, null and alternative. What is the meaning of this null hypothesis? It is often represented as H0. It's the statement that there is no effect or relationship between the variables. No effect or relationship. Okay. Null means there is no effect or relationship. And what is the alternative? It represents H1 or HA. It is a hypothesis that is best tested to prove. It is opposite of the null hypothesis and states that there is an effect or relationship between the two variables. Effect or relationship. Now what do you mean by this? Look at this. Whether the weight of the product is more than 450 grams. So it is, when I want to measure the weight of any product, I have to do it with in comparison to something else, to the grammage. So there I am taking the relationship between the grammage and my product. So that's why we'll be using alternative hypothesis over here. Okay. So that was it, and before going, as I told you, I'll be showing you how to join the Adda 24/7 classes. So go to Adda 24/7. I'll always suggest you to go through the app. In the app you get 1% extra using the coin systems. Okay. So go to Adda 24/7. Look at this. Click on JIB and CIB. Click on this JIB CIB. Click on CAIIB November. Okay. Crash course. Look at this. Ebooks, test series, online live classes, expert faculties, everything you are getting. Click on buy now. Put the code Y432. Y432. Click on apply. 77% discount you are getting plus 1% extra using the app. So that's why download the app first. So join this ASAP. The crash course has just started. You can join the Mahapack also. In Mahapack you are getting 15 plus batches per subject. So join it. In fact, join this crash course.